In this video we will be showing how to replace the measuring wheel and the idler wheel on a heavy-duty 3-wheeled measuring head from BenchMark Wireline. To begin with, the plug needs to be unscrewed and removed. Next, remove the 4 screws holding the encoder in place. Hold on to the encoder as the last screw is removed, to avoid damaging it. Now remove the 4 screws holding the encoder adapter in place. With the screws removed, often, it will require a few taps with a rubber hammer to dislodge it. Note, on the bottom of the adapter is a delicate rubber seal which can be reused if not damaged. If the black plastic coupling is stuck to the end of the encoder shaft, manually remove it. Next, loosen the large nut on the end of the shaft. Put a wooden dowel through the holes of both wheels as shown. This will prevent the wheel from turning as the nut is either loosened or tightened. Loosen the nut to where it can be turned by hand, without the wrench, but not further. Now loosen and remove the 16 screws holding the hub plate in place. After the screws are removed, remove the hub plate. A large, heavy-duty, 3-wheeled measuring head like this will weigh several hundred pounds. For the next steps, it must be laid flat with the encoder side down. Use caution when moving this heavy equipment. Next, remove the pressure wheel as shown. Now, loosen and remove this keeper roller. You can also slide cardboard strips between the wheels to protect them while removing them. Remove the 8 screws holding the hub in place. Reach under the wheels and hub, and remove the nut that was left finger tight on the shaft. A round bushing may also fall free when the nut is removed. Now pull the hub and shaft straight up, out of the wheels and frame. Slide the top wheel out of the frame, noting which side of the wheel is on the top. When removing the bottom wheel, if the bushing falls out of this wheel when the hub is removed, the wheel will come out easily. If it did not, the wheel needs to be lifted up a few inches to allow it to slide out. To reinstall the wheels, carefully replace them in the reverse order that they were removed. Place the bottom wheel as shown with the metallic hub centered in the bearing hole in the frame. Set the top wheel directly on top of the bottom wheel, making sure that they are aligned properly. Now take the hub and shaft assembly and note where the key on the shaft is, in relation to the keyway in the wheel hub. Carefully slide the shaft assembly into the center of the wheels, and position them so they slide precisely into the wheel hubs. It will take some manual adjustment for proper alignment. To rotate the shaft to get the key on the shaft to fit into the keyway on the wheel hub, place a medium slotted screwdriver in the shaft, hold the wheels in place and rotate the screwdriver until the shaft slides into the hub. Rotate the hub so the grease fitting on the hub lines up with the grease fitting on the frame. Now replace all the screws in the shaft hub, and tighten them. Next, replace the keeper roller assembly as shown, and the pressure wheel. Using caution, set the measuring head back up on its base. If the bushing had previously fallen off the shaft, replace it on the encoder side of the shaft. Replace the large nut on the shaft, just finger tight. Position the encoder side hub, slide it on the shaft and rotate it as shown. Replace the 16 screws on the hub and tighten. To tighten the large nut on the shaft, align the two wheels, and place the wooden dowel through a hole in the wheels, and rotate the wheels until it touches the frame. With a large socket and extension, firmly tighten the nut on the shaft. Make sure the black plastic coupler is on the end of the shaft, the small black O-ring is on the back of the encoder adapter, and with the external backup connector positioned downward, place the adapter on the hub. Replace and tighten the 4 screws that hold it in place. Now take the encoder, with the backup encoder positioned downward, and align the coupling to match the black plastic coupling on the end of the shaft. Carefully position the encoder on the encoder adapter. Insert and tighten the 4 screws that hold the encoder in place. To verify the encoder is properly connected, look down the plug hole while turning the measuring wheel to see if the encoder shaft is turning. Finally, put a bead of thread sealant on the plug, reinstall it, and tighten it firmly.